Hello, this is Dory from Hemp Jewelry by Dory on Etsy.com. Today we're going to make a multicolored hemp bracelet with multicolored beads and half square knot, also known as a spiral knot. And it's going to have braids on each end to tie it with. As you can see, I have started by placing and measuring out my hemp. How I have measured my working cords is I have 8 inches. That's going to be for the 2-inch braids on each side. So I've measured out twice the length for the braids, because braids take about twice the length. For the middle part with the half square knots, even though it's going to have a lot of beads, I still don't know for sure how much the cord is going to knot up. So I've measured out what's standard, which is 6 times the length, which, since this is going to be 7 inches in the middle, that's a total of 42 inches. Plus I've added on about 2 inches to give me a little leeway. So it's a total of 52 inches for each working cord, which may seem excessive, but you have to keep in mind that with the working cords you're going to be tying them up a lot, which is going to make them a lot shorter in the process. And it's much better to just have a little bit left over instead of finding yourself having to incorporate more hemp into your project in the middle of it. For the carrier cords, that's much different, of course. You're not tying them up and losing length so much, but they are still going to be braided in with the working cords on each side. So for the carrier cords, there's 8 inches for the braids on each side, plus 7 inches for the middle to hold the knots, and with an additional 2 inches to give us a little leeway. So the middle is a total of 17 inches. Now this bracelet is going to be 7 inches in the middle with 4 inches of braids. So that's how long this bracelet is going to be. You might want it to be a little shorter or longer and adjust the measurements for your fit. So the next step, when we move on, I'm going to start with an overhand knot to start off the bracelet. Okay, so now we're going to start it off with our overhand knot. So I'm going to take these cords and I'm wrapping them around my 2 fingers. As you can see, I have crossed it over. I'm pulling my string through the hole. Okay, and that's our overhand knot. Next we're going to start the braiding. Okay, so now we're going to do our 4-strand braid. I'm going to start with this left cord. I'm going over the second cord, under the third, and over the fourth. I'm pulling it up and to the side. Now I have a new working cord on the left. I'm going over the second, under the third, and over the fourth. Taking the left cord over the second, under the third, and over the fourth. You'll keep doing this until you have 2 inches of braid, and then we'll get started on our half square knots. Okay, so now we're gonna start on our half square knot, and we're gonna do 6 knots in between each bead. I'm going to start with my left working cord, and I'm bringing my left working cord underneath my 2 carrier cords and over the right working cord. Now I'm going to take my right working cord and I'm bringing it over and through this hole that I've made on the left side. I'm going to do the same knot over and over again 6 times. The next step, I'll start placing the beads onto the bracelet. So while I was off camera, I finished up my 6 half square knots. And now I'm gonna start the beading. I'm gonna first take a red crackle bead and I'm placing it onto my middle carrier cords. Now I've pulled it up. I'm gonna take my left working cord and I'm doing a half square knot around the bead. I'm pulling the working cords around the outside of the bead. Working cords are coming around the bead and we're tying on the bottom to secure it into place. I'm gonna finish up my 6 half square knots and then we're gonna alternate our beads and we're gonna put a green bead on. As you can see, I have my red bead on and I've done some of my half square knots. Now I'm gonna alternate the color and I'm going to place a green bead on here. They're both glass crow beads, and as you can see I'm putting it on the middle carrier strands. I'm pulling it up. I'm gonna do the same thing with this one. I'm gonna do my half square knot by pulling the working cords around the sides of the bead and then I'm tying from the bottom, and I will just do this through the whole project. I'll alternate the colors of beads from red to green and I'll tie 6 half square knots in between each bead until I reach my desired length and I'm ready to braid the other side. So I'll do that and then turn the camera back on. And for the next step, we'll start braiding our braid on the other side. Okay, so I've finished the knotted part of my bracelet and now I need to do my second braid. So as we did before, I'm going to take my left cord, I'm going over the second, under the third, and over the fourth. Now I have a new working cord on the left. I'm going to take the left cord over the second, under the third, over the fourth. Left working cord over the second, under the third, over the fourth, and I'm just going to keep doing this until I have achieved the length that I'm looking for, which is 2 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and when I'm finished I'll be back and we'll do our last overhand knot. Okay, so I have finished my second braid, and to finish off the bracelet, I'm going to do the last overhand knot. So I'm taking the cords parallel around my 2 fingers, crossing it over, and I'm pulling the cords through the hole. Okay, so I've finished my second overhand knot, and we're all done with the bracelet. And all I would do from here is just trim the cords to the length that I want on the ends of these overhand knots. For more tips on how to tie hemp macrame and make hemp jewelry, subscribe to my channel, How to Make Hemp Necklaces. If you have any questions at all, leave a comment and I'll get back to you when I can. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. Have a wonderful day.